But what if the HR's married to this person and then you're just screwed?
That's a whole nother problem.
We are the calm, the storm, the whimsy, and you're listening to That's What She Said.
We're back with not so expert advice. Because even though we're not qualified to give advice, we're gonna, right?
We're gonna try.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have some questions because the first time I actually got several messages that people really liked that episode, that it was a good listen. Oh. And so we have people that have sent us questions that they want us to answer. I have not looked ahead at them, so I have a system for them to send me the message.
Okay.
And I just copy and paste it into my notes and don't read them so that we have to all answer them on the spot with our very different personalities.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because we do not often agree 100% on what we would do or how we would handle something.
Sure.
So question number 1 is, I feel like you're all so good at doing life with people. Has it always been this way for each of you individually? When you look back, what things led to forming those life-giving relationships?
Wow.
For me, I feel like sometimes I forget everybody doesn't just have a lot of do life with people kind of community surrounding them.
Yeah.
So it feels just natural to me. And sometimes maybe I try to do life with too many people just because.
Yeah, that's possible. Sure.
I don't know. I'm a people person and I love people, but I feel like for me, it has always been this way because growing up in church, I feel like it's easy to have like that community, family, do life with other people mindset.
I'd have to agree. I grew up in the church as well. So we always had people over at the house, would just be very active in the church. My parents also were in the Amway business. So we were always like traveling and like hanging out with people and doing all of those things. So I feel like it's just always been a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Same, honestly. So I think that the church background, I don't know, it's really not the same way now necessarily, but I feel like in the 90s, church was like everything. You went on Wednesday, you went on Sunday, you might be there on Sunday night, and you're probably going to be there another day.
Yeah.
And then there might be something else that you're doing or a mission trip. And so I feel like when you are in that environment, you grow up with all of your parents, friends, and then their kids. And so then you have these like communities that you're living in. And so then that's like an extension of who you are. I wouldn't say that I was always the best at being the community driven. I have a hospitality gift. And so I love to take care of people and host them. But as a younger person into adult, I would find that I think that I grew into having that community aspect as I got older for myself.
Yeah.
Like I always had people around me and with me, but I don't feel like I did life with them until I was older.
Yeah.
But I grew up that way.
Yeah. And I don't think it has to be that way only if you have a church setting that you're in. I just think you might have to be more intentional about building those relationships.
That's interesting that you say that because I feel like it could be with whatever community you're in. So it could be a work community. Yeah. It could be a variety of different types of communities that you're in, like a 4-H or, all of those different things that you have people that you're doing the same thing with.
Yeah. All right. Our next question is, what do you do when you feel like you can't be yourself around certain groups of people?
I just hide in a corner in the fetal position.
That brings me back. That brings me back to what was it? Wilma and Daisy that was in our Metanoia story, and like those two people. Yeah, I think you would be in the corner.
So is that your advice?
Wait, what was the question again?
Is that your expert advice?
No.
What do you do? I guess it does say, what do you do when you feel like you can't be yourself around certain groups of people? Oh, I'm myself.
Same.
So
I might be a little bit quieter.
I might be a little bit crankier.
Yeah, I really think that I am just me.
Yeah.
Whether they like it or not.
So
Same.
I will be
And
more.
I think people don't like it sometimes.
Yeah. I would just be more like reserved,
Yeah.
not talk a whole lot.
Kelly said that I should have a shirt that says, I'm not for everyone. But it's true.
Really?
I feel like,
Do you feel like that's a thing?
yes,
More so lately or always?
always.
Really?
Yes. A lot of people, like,
Is there a situation in which this happened that Kelly said this?
She says it though, and then I saw this shirt, so I sent it to her, and
I
she's
think
like,
she
"Oh."
does say that.
But
She
she
says,
does say it.
I
it's
am
true,
not for everyone.
It's true.
Yeah.
Tori thinks it, I mean, everybody, we all talk about it. I think I've told you that before.
Oh, I've heard you say it before.
Like, I feel like there's no middle ground for me. Like, either people really, really love me, or they're like, ugh, they really just don't. There is no in between.
Because you are who you are every day,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think that that's such a good quality, though.
Yeah.
Like, to be who you are.
Yeah, but what's a funny mix for me is I am. And I know I'm not for everyone. And I know there's no middle ground. But when someone really doesn't like me, it will, like, it does hurt my heart.
Yeah.
Because I want everyone to love me.
I think we all
But
have
you
that.
work so hard
Yeah.
for them to love you.
I know.
I've watched it happen.
I know.
There's like an intention of
And
being
sometimes-
like, you're going to like me.
And sometimes it works.
Sometimes.
They switch to the love side.
Sure.
And sometimes they're like, oh gosh, get this chick away from me. And I'm okay. It's okay. It's okay. I do what I can.
I just like being myself.
Yeah. So I guess our advice would be to be yourself.
Yeah, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Go into a room, be you. You cannot worry about what somebody else thinks or says about you.
Yes. All right. Next one. I have a good job that I love, and it pays pretty well too. The problem is that I do a lot of independent work, but my boss always takes credit for it. This could be a problem for my future with the company. They will not know my worth because of her. What should I do?
What? Find a new job. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
She's taking this person's credit. That's not fair.
It's true. That is
I'd
not
find
fair.
another job that like appreciates you for what you are and not try to use you as someone who's building this person up. That person's probably going to get raises and this and that and this and that. And she's just going to be like, what? No.
I would probably stand up for myself.
Same.
I would say
did that.
something.
I'd be like, peace out.
And then I would probably go to HR and be like, I did all of this and I'm not getting credit. Is there some way that we can talk this over together?
But what
the
if
three of us?
HR is married to this person and then you're just screwed?
That's a whole nother problem.
Do you mean married as actually married
Yeah.
or married because they work close together?
I don't know. Both.
Okay. So the likelihood of them being married is probably very rare. And coming from an HR background, it should be
Maybe
there should be no retaliation back on that. So they should be able to go into the office and say, I have a concern.
Yeah.
True, but what if the HR
work is
person
happening to me.
is using that other person's work to
Yeah.
get their place better, and then it's just this big old mess?
So listen, I had this happen to me. And
Is this your question?
No. This is crazy though. So I won't say where I worked. as a receptionist, and I was actually interviewing for another job within the company. And I didn't know that this other person was interviewing also, but we were like friends. And so we had to like come up with so I was applying for a job in compliance in HR. And I had to come up with like a way in which I was going to process, review, and handle policies. So like their policies were a disaster. And so basically they were hiring somebody for this position to take over the policies so that they can be reviewed by the board and like a whole process. So I had to come up with a whole process. So I came up with the whole process, and then we had to do a couple like research things because I was working for a legal department as HR. And so we had to do some like Medicare research and come up with like, read it, basically dissect it and understand what it's saying, and then write like a document about it for my interview. Okay. And so I just happened to be talking to this girl about it and like telling her what I wrote about, like all these things. She never told me that she was interviewing, and basically took my idea and went to HR and like interviewed with my idea.
Oh, did she get the job?
And then like talked bad about me about it. And I was like, so then when I went in for my interview, they questioned me about it. Like, this is this other interviewee's project.
Yeah.
Did you take it? Like, or, you know, or whatever. And she said that you guys talked about it. And I was like, what? And so like, it was a really difficult thing. And I had to like explain to them. And I'm like, this is not the case. This is not what happened. And I ended up getting the job because I was honest about it and she had lied. And so like,
oh my goodness,
always take it to somebody else. Like, make sure you get the credit for the work that you've done.
Wow. I guess that's the first step. I'm just like, yeah, I'm out. See you later.
No. You deserve the credit for the work that you've done.
You know what I would do? I would purposefully screw something up. And then when I get called into the office with my boss, who takes all the credit for me, I'd be like, oh, that's what she told me to do. I'll give her the
honestly,
credit. That would be lying. So I wouldn't do that. I would probably stand up for myself too. But
I think you would.
What I feel like we just learned about Kelly, though, is why maybe she has high blood pressure.
Probably.
Because instead of saying, maybe I should stand up for myself, she thinks, wait, I don't know if I could stand up for myself. What if the HR person is married to the person that's offending me? Or what if they're best friends? What if they got a job because they know the HR person?
My brain doesn't stop.
That is the thought process that goes on in her head.
Yeah.
We're discovering
What if
things.
they take what I say the wrong way, and then the HR person files a lawsuit against me?
How did
and
this
they take
happen?
everything that I have, and I can't ever.
I hope
And it
my
goes
children
from-
don't have a brain like mine.
It goes from the one thought
her
to
whole
the
life is in
spiral
shambles.
to the end.
Yeah.
It's not
Wow.
Metanoia. That's why your brain needs metanoia.
good. Yeah.
But I also love it when you answer that way.
She's like, I'm out. See ya. He's like, oh, no. You deserve the
Make more
credit.
money somewhere else. See you
What
later.
if they're married?
And I'm like, wait,
What?
married? Or like married in a work relationship type thing? Oh, gosh.
That was a good question, though.
I like it.
And I'm sorry that you're dealing with that.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies, I'd love to hear your advice for navigating friendships in your 40s. You're also busy being moms, wives, and businesswomen. How do you make consistent efforts in your friendships while being so busy? And what advice can you give my husband for understanding that friend time, friend is in capital letters, or me time in capital letters, is so valuable and important?
So first, you need to start a business where you have to get together with
your friends
to continue your business, and then your husband will be like, "Oh, this could make me money someday, maybe." Okay, Go have friend time. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. I mean, I think that that's a legit question.
Yeah, for sure.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
And when the husband's involved and doesn't understand, I think that that's more difficult. We happen to have 3 understanding husbands who know that without our time together, we are not nice people. And we really need to be together. And I think it's really healthy.
Yeah.
To get out of the house and to have the me time.
Yeah.
And your husband needs that time too.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe you guys talk about it and say, hey, this night you go out with your guys and this night I'll go out with my girls. And
yeah,
that's a good balance.
I'm going to be honest. I used to be ridiculous about Aaron going out though, because I'm like, seriously? But like, I would have friend time all the time, and he doesn't have he has friends, but they don't always get together. So then when he would get together, I'm like, really? Like, you're going to leave me tonight when I have all these kids? Like, seriously?
Yeah, that's true.
And I was so ridiculous about it. Now I'm so much better, except when I decide that I need to go to the ER.
You will come home.
I'm like, you need to come home now, like ASAP. But yeah, I just feel like it's an important thing for both. Even if you just find a friend group, couples maybe, that you hang out together with, just to get that time, and then maybe separately after you build those relationships.
Yeah. So sometimes when we answer these questions, I wish I could ask questions, like follow-up questions, because I think there's a couple important things. So I don't know like how well you guys communicate about these things, but I think a big part of it is it seems like a lot of guys' me time. It doesn't even have to be going out with other people, and they don't function quite the same way as we do. So they could just go like play video games or just work outside, or like my husband doesn't need a lot of people time. So sometimes he does, and it's really good for him when he has it, but I need it like once a week or more.
Yeah.
He's like good once a month, maybe.
Yeah.
But like for him, alone time is mowing the lawn, or morning coffee on the deck by himself, or playing video games, while I finish putting kids to bed or something like that. So I guess just like what kind of communication do they have? Because I think guys don't understand, like, as much as our husbands are helpful, there's still a part of us that's like, we are what everybody needs. The house needs us, the kids need us, our jobs need us, our friends need us, our husbands, they do need us. Like, we're constantly giving. So for us, just being alone isn't what is good for us. We want our friends to.
Right. We don't want to be quiet and alone. I want my me time with my friends.
Yeah. And we will do, like, the 3 of us specifically, we still try to do it sometimes in a way that's best for our families. So
that's 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's why Kelly falls asleep during podcast episodes, because we wait until our kids are in bed to go out, and we sacrifice sleep sometimes.
So then no one needs us, and we can have our time. And sometimes we stay later and hang out, because that's really the time that we're going to get to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe even just start like going out, having a friend over later, or I don't know, going out later.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of pressure, I think bedtime alone is never fun.
Yeah.
Like trying to put all the kids to bed by yourself isn't like an easy task. At least in my house, it wasn't, because they all want laid with, they all want read books being read to, like they all want that time.
And they need things. They do. So it is difficult.
Yeah. Just good communication.
And try to make it a priority, and like talk about that. Make it communication, make it a priority to talk about it.
And what makes it easier on each other for you to take that time. Because it's different for every
So
relationship.
if you're home, the 3 of us are home. We have our businesses that we're running all day long anyways, but we are home. And so that doesn't mean that we get any time away. We don't go to work.
Right.
Our work is at home. we might have other things that we have to work on outside of the house, but everybody is usually coming or we're running places, but we don't actually like always leave every day.
Yeah.
And so that's difficult too.
Yeah. Lots of communication, because he might be more understanding if you say, how can this be okay for both of us? This is important to me. I'm not just going to say peace out. Like, what days and times are good for you? Good communication that way.
I agree.
Yep. Absolutely.
And when he gives you that time, then you need to show him that it makes you a different person. There's my follow-up. Don't still come home cranky. I don't know if you do, but it has to,
Feel lift
value.
up.
Yeah.
Like, do something that's going to make it, even if it's not with a person and you want to be alone, go have that coffee, do your thing, read whatever your thing is to be alone, and then come home feeling refreshed.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, next question is, I just had a baby and am new to being out of the workforce and into being a full-time stay-at-home mom. The joke is on me. I thought that meant I would have the house spotless and everything taken care of with room to go to Bible studies and play groups. How does one juggle all of this? #send help.
If you could send help my way, I'd appreciate it too.
And you don't have a baby.
I don't have a baby, but it's hard to balance it all.
Yeah.
Because like you want to do all the fun things, but then there's so much stuff that needs done at home all the time.
So I don't know how old the baby is. She said I just had a baby, right? My advice, since I continue to have babies.
Are you?
I'm not pregnant right now.
I was like, whoa.
I hope not. Is I genuinely feel like the first 6 months is straight up survival mode. After that, you still have to give yourself grace. But I felt like being a stay-at-home mom was the same. I'll get the groceries and the house will be perfect and the laundry will be done. But when you have a baby, it's different. And also, like, snuggle that baby.
Yeah,
enjoy that time, because time goes by so fast. And you look back when they're running around the house saying, I wish I would have snuggled the baby versus made my house spotless.
Right.
Like, don't stress yourself out. Your husband needs to understand things aren't going to be perfect, and give yourself grace.
Yep.
Also, listen to our decluttering episodes and it will help you as a stay-at-home mom.
I was going to say too, so remember what the priority is.
Yeah.
Clean the space. Pick up one thing or two things as you're going, because you're tired. Your baby could be a cranky baby. Maybe they're a good baby. I don't know. But that's difficult on you too. So don't put the priority of being like, I'm going to have everything done.
Yeah.
Because that's just too much.
Yeah.
Like too much on you. Just check out the decluttering. Do one space, one little thing at a time. And I mean, when I say one little thing, when you're having when you have a baby, you're picking up the toy that's like in front of you. And that's probably it for that day.
Yeah.
Like, do what you can do and don't stress about the rest. I also think that the communication, we go back to communication and communicating with your spouse. I need help in these areas. Can you help me to do this? Because in order for all of this to be taken care of, we have to be a team.
Yeah.
And like, it's not going to happen on your own with a newborn.
And don't feel like, my husband still to this day gets frustrated with me because when he comes home and tries to help me, I take it like, oh, I didn't do enough while you were gone. And he's like, or I'm just trying to help you.
Yeah.
And so
That's good advice.
even though you're the mom at home that feels like because you're home, you have to get all this stuff done, he would rather you're taking care of your child first. And then if he has to help you a little bit later, that's okay. And remember also, you grew a human and then you got them outside of your body and all your hormones are crazy and they took everything that you have physically and emotionally and mentally, and you need time to recover.
And they're still doing that. Even after that, take the nap when they nap.
Yes.
Don't clean in that time frame. Do not do that to yourself. Take the nap.
It goes by so quickly.
Yeah.
And I agree with Hillary that you need to snuggle that baby because you're going to blink and that baby's going to be telling you what she thinks. And you'll be like, what? So just really take time and like be present, and
Yeah.
that stuff's, you'll always have time to do. I mean, it'll always be there. Just do little bits at a time.
And something I'm terrible at, so I'm giving you advice I was never able to take. But if someone says, how can I help you? Tell them how they can help you. If they're at your house to visit and they say, how can I help you? Let them unload your dishwasher. Let them fold your laundry.
Absolutely.
Do not be embarrassed of that.
Yeah. Most of the time, if someone's saying that, they want to help, but they don't know how. So just let them.
Yep.
All right. Next question. My husband is thinking about going into business with one of his friends he recently met at church. The friend's wife is a new Christian and about 10 years younger than I am. We don't have a lot in common. My husband really likes his new friend and wants to invest in a relationship with them. They have mentioned going on trips together and have now moved up the street with intentions of stopping by frequently. I have caught her in a couple of lies, which has caused trust issues with this couple. Do I suck it up and go along with this because my husband finds value in this friendship, or do I have my husband slowly back out of the friendship? I'm not very good with boundaries because I never want to come off as fake or make anyone feel like they are on the outside. Also, what if the business takes off and is successful, but I got in the way because of my feelings? What would you do if you were in my shoes?
Whoa. I would just say to my spouse, let's give it some time before we jump into a business. Let's maybe spend a little time and see how things go. Like, because it's hard to really know someone. And when you're going to go into a business, and if you're investing a lot of money or a lot of time, I would say you need to know those people before you jump in like that.
Yeah. I would agree with that, because even friendships that have been friends for a really long time and know each other well, going into business is still an adjustment on your relationship. Yeah. And there's,
doing a podcast is an adjustment with your friends. We've all experienced it.
And we know each other really well.
Wow.
As far as the friendships go, though, I don't know that you can tell your husband to back away from a relationship he is enjoying because of the wife. I just might say you don't have to be couple friends with everybody. If you don't jive with her,
absolutely,
then we're not all going to be best friends. But the relationship between the two of them, unless it's like affecting him negatively or morally or something's wrong because of that relationship, I would say you can't really, I wouldn't suggest saying no, you can't be friends with him.
But if there's been like lies, like I wouldn't want to hang out with the wife.
No, I don't think she should have to. I'm saying the man.
No,
I would just
absolutely
tell my husband, like, hey, I don't really feel comfortable. And one, if she's lying about this, I don't trust her to like open up to her. We just don't really jive together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the business side of that. And if it's very recent, again, I'd like to ask questions. If I was in person with somebody, how long have they known each other? What is the business? What does it entail? Traveling with people is difficult when you don't know that. Like, so there's a lot of things in that. And I think that I would say, as a wife to my husband, who has had a lot of business ideas and a lot of business ventures, time is always telling. Mm-hmm. And it's really important to watch that time. So build the friendship, build the trust, and then see what the opportunities are. The talking of it can happen, and that's great and grand. But I do think that time is important, because you don't want to and I understand that she's saying like, what if this business could be really good and I'm holding it back because my feelings. Usually when you have a feeling in this situation, it's probably for a reason, and you are reserved because there's a cause for that reason. And so I think that that's a communication thing that needs to be discussed with each other.
Well, and she asked the question, do I suck it up and go along with it? I don't think that as wives we're ever supposed to just suck anything up.
No.
I agree. Like, I just don't think she should feel like she has to go along with something she doesn't feel right with.
Yeah. We're supposed to be their helpmate, which means we sometimes have wise counsel to give them.
Absolutely.
They might not see things the same way we do. They're not always as guarded as we are. So it's okay to try to give him wise counsel.
Absolutely. I think that it's important that the wise counsel, that we utilize what we really are good at as being a helper.
Yes.
And give that advice.
Yes, I agree. Okay, this is our last question. Are you ready?
Yep.
We are not in contact with my wife's family due to repeated abusive comments and actions. One of her cousins, who has wholeheartedly supported us, has a stepson who just graduated high school. His graduation party is in a few weeks. Her parents will be there, and we are torn on how to handle. Any advice on how to approach this?
Well, I am sorry, first off, that you have to deal with any of that, because it shouldn't be that way. And it just kind of breaks my heart that you have to even think about this whole thing. But it's hard for me because I hate confrontation.
Because we already know she would be in the corner crying.
I'd probably be in the corner, but then part of me would be like, you know what? You're happy. You have a great life. You have a great spouse. Go and enjoy the party.
Yeah.
And as much as I want to just be like, go have fun, love on the people that you love, and like, you know, those celebrate was it the stepson?
Yeah.
Like, do all those things. I just, that's hard.
Yeah.
Like, but I understand how I would be probably a nervous wreck and poop my pants on the way there because I wouldn't want to be there.
Oh my God.
That's great advice. Great advice.
But I'm just saying, it's just, I would be a ball of nerves.
Yeah.
Because if it's been that long, if it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But.
So I'm the complete opposite.
Really?
Yes. I feel like an abusive situation is different. That stuff can like physically make you up, ill when you have to go into that. So you're right. Like abuse is different. I feel like I've had that in my life, and it took me a while to be able to be around certain people, but I guess with age, I feel like it hasn't bothered me as much. And you know what's best for you. You go into that situation with like, just be with the people that you have good relationships with. I wouldn't even act like there's a conflict if it was me. And I would just say our presence is going to be strong, and we're going to be happy, and we're going to be us. We talked about that earlier.
We did.
Go into the room and you be you. And
absolutely.
You go for who you have a good relationship with.
So here's my question to you. So how would you approach those people? Would you just go up and act like, hey, how you doing? Or would you just like kind of like steer clear?
I would not go out of my way to talk to them if it has been an abusive situation. Yeah. I would just probably pretend like they're not really there unless they come up in a setting where I have to face them. But I would just say, hi, hope you're doing well, or
whoever this is, just will come with you.
Just kidding. I'll come.
We will make it really good.
Yeah.
So I think that number one, this is a once in a lifetime thing that happens. A graduation from high school is important. I don't think that you should feel that you shouldn't go. Like I would want you to go.
Yeah.
I would want you to go. I would want you to be who you are. And maybe it's an open house. Yeah. Maybe they will be there at a different time. I just think that it's important that you go and support the people that you love.
Yeah.
and the people who have supported you.
Yeah.
Right.
And remember who you are. Remember all the things, and just think about
Yeah.
that you are strong.
Yeah, my mom always says kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best thing you can do, because you don't want to give them the satisfaction of your discomfort,
No.
of you like struggling with anything they've put you through. You just go there and you own who you are, and you
Because that's the moment that they'll pray.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that they will attack you. And I feel like if you just go in there with the intention of, I am celebrating somebody that I love.
Yep.
And
nobody is going to bully me.
No one's going to bully me. And remember, you are in control of your emotions.
Yeah.
And so you can handle all of those things. You are bigger than the words that somebody says to you.
Yeah.
Walk in there proud and be who you are.
For sure. And if you need a link to the digital flip-off sign, just message us and we can give it to you. You can put it on your back and
We
be
found
like,
one. We found one on Amazon, so we can send you that.
Oh, wow.
But for real, like, you need to just go in there and be proud and be happy. And, you know, if they want to live their life that way and be that way to someone that
They're supposed to love.
raised, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
And
give me
that's
a break.
like the true meaning of a bully, right?
Yeah.
When they have nothing better to say than
Nasty.
mean,
Yeah.
abusive, nasty things,
Yeah.
they are not well. So
And I would just say, talk to HR before going to the party. But they're probably married to them, so that's not going to work.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for listening to a production from Family Simple Media and the CSW Podcast. Follow, like, and subscribe at CSW Podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Why? Oh my gosh. It's on you.
Was just that flying
I
thing?
thought it was a spider. Sorry.
We did this with the lights off the one time and it was way better.
It's that one over
Should I
there.
turn
but
that one
that one. Dang on.
I got a wedgie.
Oh, it's a string of the mic.
You know what? We've gotten so good that we don't have a lot of Easter eggs, so this is perfect.
The string in the mic.
Aaron's like, we need Easter eggs. You guys are too good. So yeah. So I'm just picking for those things. And Kelly is going to survive. I promise. It'll be fine.
All right. I'm
Right?
good. Yep.
It'll be fine.
Yep. I'm going to close my eyes here and try to get back to where I need to be.
Okay. Center yourself.